Are you ready? Yes?
Yes, we are.
Okay, and 8-1, your time start now.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Nguyen Han Dung. I'm from the Affirmative side, and we are very honored to be here supporting the motion that the replacement of traditional brick and mortar university with the rise of digital university. So let's come to the definition of the traditional brick and mortar university. The brick and mortar university is actually the physical educational institution where students attend classes in person on a campus. And it's, have the higher cost, the geographical constraints, and the limited flexibility at class size as well. So what's next? The definition of digital university that we support here. The online university or the e-learning institution or the educational institution primarily offer courses and degree programs through the internet and the access lectures, assignment, resources online, allowing for flexibility in when and where they study and leverage technology to deliver education. So it also make it accessible to a global audience and often offering a wide range of digital tools and resources online. So we would like to give you guys our argumentation structures here. So our first argument is that the flexibility and the convenience, the digital university provide flexibility in terms of when and where the students can learn. So what's next? The second argument, the cost efficiency. The digital university more cost effective for both students and its institution. So our third claim is the personalized, customized learning style. And the final argument is the technological advancement and in the real-world technology skill. So, coming to our first argument, we would like to state that the digital university provides the flexibility in terms of when and where students can learn. So it offers a wide range of learning options, meaning that students can access courses, materials, and lectures at a time that suit them best. For example, the individual with the busy schedules, such as working professionals, the parents or those with other commitments. So they can learn from the comfort of them in their own home or any location with the internet connection, eliminating the need for commuting or relocating for education. So for example here, the COVID-19 pandemic in 2019 accelerated the adoption of online learning and even showcasing the benefits of remote education. The University of Phoenix offers flexible online degree program tailored to working adults. So our second evidence example is that the study published in the journal Online Learning in 2019, we have here that online learners generally reported the high levels of satisfaction with their educational experiences, but specifically 77% respondents were very satisfied with the flexibility of online program, and 68% online learning was equal and superior to traditional university. So I mean here is that some people from the mountainous area and the remote area have no access to the university with the physical university. So that's the reason why we mentioned here. So the second argument we want to state is the cost efficiency. The digital university have more cost effective for both students and institutions. So why? The digital university can reduce the cost of education in several ways, benefiting both students and educational institutions, eliminating the need for physical infrastructure and the maintenance. Digital university. So for example here, the budget to build a university around the world is approximately within like 100 million to 500 million dollars. So that's the reason why we mentioned the cost efficiency here. So the third, the report by U.S. Department of Education found that 30 to 50% of students were very satisfied with the online platform, were very satisfied with the online courses that they are provided in over the world. So that's the reason why it's very important to have the satisfaction. So yes.
How do you define satisfaction here? Is it high grades or what they learn, like the quality? How do you define satisfaction here?
So actually, there's a lot of students around the world have the commitment to learning. So that's the reason why I mentioned the satisfaction is that the how much knowledge that you can accumulate it. So that's the reason why the satisfaction will be very clear here. Thank you. And the fourth argument is the technological advancement and the real-world technology skills that our teammate will explain more at the next part. Thank you.
Congratulations on completing the first bit of the match. Thank you. Next, please welcome the speech from N1. Your time start now.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for your speech. So firstly, I will do the redefinition. Secondly is our rebuttal. And second one is our team system of arguments. And the last one will be my first argument. So coming to our coming to our redefinition, I agree with your definition on traditional brick multi-universities. But I want to add in something. So in our team, we don't support the replacements of digital universities by traditional universities. This means that we will not abandon, means that we will prioritize traditional universities. But this doesn't mean that we will abandon digital university, but we just prioritize traditional more. So it means that it's like the same situation that we are all learning right now. We go to school physically, but we also learn online for some materials before going to class. So coming to our rebuttal. So as the team said that students in mountainous area cannot go to school. So going to online classes when we apply digital universities will be a solution. But I believe that right now governments and schools are also having some financial support for students from mountainous areas. But when we look at the bigger picture of the whole economy, we believe that our traditional universities will be more beneficial. When we look at the problem,
on the financial support from the government.
right now, I don't have any data of financial support from the government, but our team will detail to you more about the whole picture of the economy. Because when we look at the whole picture, we won't just look at a small minority. I understand that it's important, but my second speaker will deep into that later. Thank you so much. And secondly is the satisfaction that your team said. Your team said that students are more satisfactory when they go to digital universities. But you haven't mentioned, but you haven't given it any numbers to illustrate that students are more satisfied, because I believe that satisfaction should be defined as what students learn and their experience when learning. But your team just mentioned about their experience when learning. But our team believes that when students go to digital university, they study at home, the quality of study will not be as good as going to traditional schools, which will be explained later by my second speaker. So coming to our team's system of argument, so we will divide today's debate into three stakeholders. The first one is teachers, second one are students, and the last one is education system. So we look at the problem in different aspects. So firstly, let's dive into the first stakeholder, which are the teachers. So what are the problems that you all here are teachers face when you teach online during the COVID-19 pandemic? What are the problems and struggles that you face? So let me try to say and persuade you. So let's see if it's matched with your thinking. So firstly, teachers find it hard to evaluate and assess students when they study on digital universities, because assessing students' performance online is not easy, because students can commit to cheating and plagiarism. According to a research from Fund Cycle in 2023, so current data, 60% of students admitted to cheating online exams. So what are the consequences of this? Students learning from digital universities, as their team said, they are satisfied with what they are learning. They are satisfied with what they are learning, but do they actually learn something from that? Because they cheat a lot, 60% of them cheating. It means that they don't learn anything from the online classes. I mean, don't learn anything. Hints me that when we compare with traditional schools, they will learn more and the knowledge will retain more in their brain. And this will change the attitude of teachers when teaching, because teachers, when they teach, they do not just want to finish their teaching and then they get the money. No, they need the satisfaction also. Teachers also need satisfaction. They want that motivation when they teach students and their students understand them and they can retain what the teacher said. So that is the happiness of teachers, right? I believe so. So coming to our second point about the stakeholder teachers, according to a study by Lacomba in 2022, 17% of teachers have anxiety, and 19% of teachers have depression during the COVID-19 pandemic when they have to teach everything online. So what are the problems of this? Because when teachers teach online, this will blur the work-life balance of teacher. Why? Because when teachers teach at home, you have so many distractions, right? You have children, your family, and compared to teachers going to school. So when they go to school, they focus on their teaching, and when they go home, they can have free time. But when they stay at home, they will always feel like they work the whole day, right? So when they go home, they have to take care of their children. When they teach, they will also be distracted from things outside. They don't have the space for teaching, and they cannot focus, and their teaching quality will not be as good as traditional school. And we believe that this will demotivate teachers because there's no space for them between work and life. And the last point we believe are the relationship between teachers and students, because they are now restricted from a screen. They cannot see each other. They lose all the eye contact and body language. And we believe that body language is something that connects us. And the eyes are the soul of us. So if we don't have the eye contact and something like that, this will lose the relationship between teachers and students. And we believe that the value of education does not just lie on teaching and studying, but it's also about the value of relationship, of connecting and loving. Thank you so much.
Thank you for your performance. Will you return to your seats? Following the match, I would like to invite the next speakers from the jury teams to your positions. At this turn, all of you also have the right to ask POI. A2, are you ready? Your time start now.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Hong An from the second speaker of Affirmative teams. So we are standing here to support the motion that we support that the replacement of traditional brick and mortar universities with the rise of digital universities. So before I come to my own arguments, let's take a look at my own rebuttals. So as first, as your negative team says that you mentioned the financial support from the government, right? And it is obvious that your team don't have any clues or any data to prove it. So that how can we know that this financial support can be shared equally to a lot of people on the world? And it's still touch questions, and we can't find clearly questions to solve these problems. And I want your team to answer for my own teams that how can you make sure that traditional universities can prevent cheating? Why when we attending on online exams, right? We still have some the cheating with the high rates, and how can we know that traditional universities can prevent from the cheating? And the third question is that how can you make sure that the teachers who teaching online aren't satisfied with their job? And the last one, your team mentioned that studying offline can lead some distraction, right? But I think, as your team mentioned, that studying online can be distraction, and our team believes that studying offline also leads some distraction. Like you can have a talk with your friends, you can make a meet with the other person, you can eating on the class, or even though you can sleeping on your class. So let's come back to my own arguments. I'm gonna give you 4 main claims that support our motion. The first one, that the increase by replacement the traditional brick and mortar universities, we can increase the accessibilities and the flexibilities that can offer the greater access to education, allow people from all of the locations to pursue the higher education, and it can expand access for those who face barriers such as geographical limitation, a financial constraint, and the personal responsibilities. And I'm going to give you the evidence that according to the Online Learning Consortium reports that the online enrollment in higher education has been increased 7.6% growth rate. And this evidence showed the demand for e-learning, that it focused on the flexibility and accessible. Let's come to the second claims of our affirmative, that it leads to the cost effectiveness and affordabilities, that we can save the university student can save money on costs such as the campus facilities and the maintenance. Let's take a detailed example of UEH, that if we by implementing the online digital universities, we can eliminate the traffic congestions in the parking, and it still touch problems to solve the high amount of the means of transportations in our city. And with that, the need of the physical infrastructures. Yes.
So how do you think replacement of traditional universities can affect the local economies?
Firstly, we didn't mention first about the financial, the economic of the globally. When we implement the digital universities, we can create more opportunities for the people who don't have enough money to attend the traditional brick and mortar universities, and it can create a lot of beneficial for the others who that they are stayed away, and they don't have some personal responsibilities, and they can go to school directly. And let's come back to my old arguments, that without the need of physical infrastructures, we can reduce the cost of the education, because the online can are more affordable, and we can save the cost on not only the materials, but as well as the commuting, the housing, the textbook. And let's come to our third glance, that by adapting the online universities, we can customize the learning experience of each individual's universities, right? Because it offers the personalized learning experience that tailored to individual student needs, and with the adaptive learning technologies and data driving, we can assess to each student progress notes and identify the areas for the improvement and deliver targeted learning materials and resources. From that point, we can know each level of the students and have the best recommendations for them to pursuing the continuous learning, right? And let's take an example of the digital online cost. Let's take a look at Coursera. Coursera offers a wide range courses opportunities for persons. They can gain the high quality contents because those are online platforms and easier for them to access, which is like a mobile phones or the laptop. And with the high quality contents, they can access with the is partner. Coursera is partner with renowned university and experts who create the high quality, and they can gain the valuable learnings. Moreover, Coursera can offer the verified certification. They can earn the verified cert, completion tests, and enhance learners' resumes to continuous learning educations. Thank you.
Yes, thank you for your speech, A2. Then it's Andrew's turn to speak. Are you ready?
Hello everyone, my name is Phần and I'm the second speaker of the negative team. So first is the arguments of my speech. First is about the stakeholder students, and in the stakeholder I will explain to you about the academic engagement, networking mentorship, isolation, lack of social interaction, health concern, and lastly is about educational system. So first is my rebuttal for your team. So you said that you can allow your student to study whenever and wherever they want. So I want to ask you, how can you ensure the quality of education, of learning? Because some measures you have to go to school and have the practical experiences like manufacturing, engineering, especially healthcare. Because doctor cannot study online, so how can you ensure the quality? Next is, so if you can let them choose whatever times they want to study in the 4 years of university, how can they get you to the workplace environment? Because when you go to work, it's different from when you learn at home. You have a very disciplined environment, and how can you get to that? When we learn in school, we have a specific time, and you have to go to school at the right time. You have a lot of rules, and you have to follow all of them. And so when you go to your workplace, you can get used to it better. And as my first speaker just asked you, how can you define satisfactions? Because for us, satisfactions is what you can learn from university. It's not how you learn it. If you can learn it easily and get a high score, so you're satisfied with your score. But it's how will it affect the educational system in general? And lastly is you just mentioned about Coursera. So as I know, most recruiters do not count Coursera as their academic achievement because you can enhance your understanding by learning in Coursera, but it is not a tool to say that how well you are, and it cannot make sure your understanding. So coming to my first point, so I will talk about the stakeholder students. So first is the traditional university can ensure the academic engagement of the students because many students appreciate the in-person engagement with the professional, with their peers in the traditional university, and I believe that the face-to-face interaction can make the learning more engaging and can foster the sense of belonging. And also in the learning environment, you can also enhance your motivation. And 50% of students strongly prefer the face-to-face courses according to the Georgetown University counter. So coming to the next point is about social and personal growth of students. So traditional university provide an opportunity for a student to develop both social and interpersonal skills through the extracurricular activities, club, and campus life. And this holistic development is seen as a valuable aspect of university. And you know that so as I know that both of you work in a university club, right? So do you feel that your leadership skill, your cooperation and teamwork skill can improve a lot after 1 year of working? So I believe that working in a club, you do more extracurricular activities, and a lot of people can organize a very, very perfect competition like that is a skill for them. So if you learn online in digital university, how can you organize a competition like this? So I will have chance to stand here. Next is the networking and mentorship. So students value the networking opportunity and the mentorship relationship because this is a significant impact on their careers later. And also learning online, learning on the digital university can lead to isolation and lack of social interaction because it will miss out on the in-person interaction with peers and teachers. And also, you haven't mentioned about the technical issues because now learning on a digital university, you have to make sure that your connection, your Wi-Fi is good, and some of them will not have enough, but they would not have cannot afford them to learn. So how can you make sure that? And I want to ask you, how many juniors coming from digital university? And lastly, is about the health concerns. So with a long exposure to the screen, computer screens, it can lead to eye strains. And according to the number from the Georgetown University Center, it's claimed that students after the pre-academic days, 70% of the students can lose 60 to 90 minutes of sleep. So it can lead to a least reduction. And lastly is about, yes?
Can you tell me the sources that you mentioned 70%
Georgetown Uni Center. Next is about educational system. So how can digital university can affect the educational system in general? So first is about the economic impact. So traditional university can have a significant economic impact on the regions. For example, in Ho Chi Minh City, if UEH is replaced, how can it affect this city? A lot of people will lose their jobs, and also teachers lose a job. So you can see that university can create jobs and attract students from outside the area and can stimulate that local economic. And next is about workforce development. So skilled technical students become a part of the skilled workforce and filling critical gaps in the various industries such as manufacturing, construction, healthcare, and technologies. And this can increase the productivity and economic growth. And that will lead to the reduction of unemployment rates and dependency on the foreign labor. So this is the end of my speech. Thank you for listening.
Yes, thank you for your speech. Congratulations on completing your speech. Please return to your seat. And candidates, please note that when you hear the starting sign now from me, and then you will begin your speech. Continuing the match, I would like to invite A3 and N3 from two teams to your positions. Such as before, you all had a right to ask POI by ringing the bell in front. A3, are you ready? Your time starts now.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Trần Thị Kiều Anh and I'm the third debater from my Affirmative team. And today we are here to support the motions that the replacement of traditional brick-and-mortar universities with the rise of digital universities. Okay, first of all, I want to wrap up a little bit about the rebuttal that your team has said before. About you mentioned that about the club that we attend in university. In our house, we believe that not only in universities have a club for you to attend to widen your social network or to improve your social skill like leadership, as you said before, but in other like societies and high school also have other club for you to attend. And furthermore, it also have non-profit organizations or non-government organizations such as ISEX or Green Life or I Volunteers that not belong to any university, so that you can join easily that like non-profits. Yeah. Okay. And about the questions that you said about lose the job of the traditional universities when we don't build any traditional universities. And in ours, we believe that if we lose the jobs, we will create another job. So that in the modern developments of our, we can create many words that relevant to digital economic digital transformation, such as data analysis or the person who built the platform for you to study. Yeah, and now I will return to our teams and we will wrap up again our plans. And about the first plans in our house that about the flexibility and accessibility. Okay, online education allows students to learn at their own pace and their own schedule. Thus, this flexibilities can especially for working professor, for parents, or just individuals on their commitment. And I will give you some example that universities of phonics that in Arizona, the U.S. Is an online universities that cater to many working adults who can balance their jobs and educations. Like the universities create online course for the elder person, for older person who are working to continue study and they cannot like study and working. Yeah. About the second class is that cost saving. Yeah, traditional university often come with lower, online university often come with lower tuition fee and reduce the expense that relate to housing, transportation. For example, every student in UH here that we move to Ho Chi Minh cities that we have to pay a lot for like cost of living, right? And in Georgia, Georgia teach online master of science in computing science programs in more affordable than its online campus counterpart, and it make it difficult for wider range of students. And as the cost of living increase with the 7.6% of growth rate in 20 and 20s, and it also cycle in trend in September in 20 and 21. Ho Chi Minh was estimated over 9 million people that making the most popular city in Vietnam. And to please that population growth, we have to it's advisable to consult the digital universities to study online. And about the third glance in our house that it personalized and customized learning style. Okay, when you attending a course online, you will have a feedback or a data analysis or the AI that can help you to personalize the level of your study. Digital universities can adapt the learning technologies to tailor education's content to each student ability and need. For example, platforms like Duolingo, T-Flat, or Elsa just use adaptive algorithm to personalize language, to personalize the language learning, to improve the efficiencies and effectiveness. And other online courses like Coursera, EDX, LinkedIn Learning, there are more than 60,000 online courses on varieties and topics that including curriculums from experts and quality teachers that teaching on this platform. And about the fourth plan that we want to say here is the technological advance. Like we're living in the real world, we're living in the digital transformations that we have to adapt with the transactions of like the developments of technology. So we have to like adapt with the early using of the technologies. For example, like Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg, right? The two founders of the most famous data companies in the world, that they have to assess the digital transformations from the early age. They have to learn about data really early, and that's why they success in the future in the digital world. And about and in here we do not deny the good effect of traditional university, but we just say that we should replace the traditional universities with the rise of digital universities. We live in the world that apply digital technologies, but we are not living in virtual world. We study online, but we still can interact with people. We still can joining clubs in the socials. That means as a human rights, we still have a human right, but we have to interact with social people, not only because we study online. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much for your speech. Next, please welcome the speech of N3.
So
Are you
hi-
ready?
Yeah, I'm
The
ready.
time start now.
So hi everyone, I'm Nhật Vi and I'm the third speaker of the negative team. So my speech will include two parts. First, I will give my rebuttals, and secondly, I will wrap up our team system of arguments. So first, I want to have a question that have you ever considered like the root cause of this debate topic today? Because I strongly believe that this debate topic is caused from the frustration of teachers who may have lost the quality control on their student level, and they still may not been able to assess whether their students have absorbed the knowledge they have given or not. So all the solutions you have given haven't considered one of our most important stakeholders here is teachers, as you have not solved their frustration, and you may have exaggerated their pains of being a teachers dealing with online schooling only, and furthermore you have not solved the pain that the economy may have without the traditional model to break education. So first, we believe that our debate topic today focus on the end goal of ensuring the well-being and happiness of our stakeholders, which are students and teachers. And also, we are also heading to a qualified employment source, a talent pool for our economy. And all of our arguments have served why this end goal better, because you have offered us a lot of ways of learning that online education can give to our students, such as the flexibility or the comfort that may have gained. But have you ever think that this may backfire the situation? Because if you give them the flexibility, they are able to learn anywhere and anytime, this may cause them to be less disciplined more than ever, and they may have to re-enroll the courses again if they failed that test because they haven't absorbed all the knowledge in the correct way. And this also may lead to may backfire your argument about the financial constraints, because if they have to spend money to re-enroll the course again, if they did not complete that course quality, that may lead to another cost that they have to spend. And also about your point of financial constraint, our argument is that each world, your world is online schooling only, and our world is where online schooling and traditional schooling can coexist together. Both worlds may have such costs that students have to spend. Also in your world, we also may have the online platform maintenance costs that the students have to bear. And also your point of customized learning that online schooling may give, but how can teachers assess the students' level in order to give them the customized learning? They have to assess on the output, right? But what if you let students at home and you cannot quality control their output, and they may use the technology such as ChatGPT for the output, for example. So how can that output be qualified enough to reflect the students' level for a teacher's customized learning. So customized learning is also a big question here that your world may not serve. And so coming to our system of argument, and I believe that our world can serve all the micro purposes and also the macro purposes that the education system needs to discuss. First, we think that we serve students better because you have to consider that each student have different learning style. You should not force them to study at home only. You should let them experience the online and also the offline face-to-face interaction with teachers as well. And also, okay, yes?
In our hearts that we can adapt the learning technology goals and the data driven to diversity, the level of the student, and we could create the best recommendations for their study progresses. And it can be done by our online. Thank you.
Okay, so you think that by using AI and data you can assess the children output, right? But I do not think that's the case because you have to judge one's capacity based on their hard skill, their soft skill as well, and maybe using AI may not be able to judge their hard skill only, because how about their soft skill, their teamwork, their collaboration with others? How can you judge that by using data only? So coming back to our system of argument, we believe that letting traditional schooling and digital schooling coexist together may give students the best personal development plan ever because they get to learn all the hard skill and soft skill from interacting with others as well. And secondly, our second stakeholders, which is teachers. So we think that letting those two types of schooling exist may help them have less difficulty in the level assessment of their students because they can be more able to recognize if their students are cheating or not. And I think that may increase their the learning outcome. And that also and thank you for listening. That is our team system.
The time for entry is up. Thank both teams for your performance. Please return to your seats. Now, let's welcome back the debaters who will take charge of the blind speeches from both teams. Please take your position. Each team will have 4 minutes to complete your blind speech and start with the negative team. And during this speech, you are not allowed to ask POI. The negative team, are you ready?
Yes.
Your time start now.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me sum up the debate today and see which team should win the debate today. So, as our team said a lot about 3 stakeholders, with our teachers, students, and education. So I will sum up the benefits as well as the drawbacks of 2 teams. So both teams will have pros and cons. Firstly, about the cost. Your team said about the cost, but both sides, we cannot tell how many students can access to education. Even we approach it by traditional method or digital method. So what is the parameter for us to tell how many students can access to education here? We believe that quality should be what we talk about. As our team mentioned, students in our world can learn more and they can retain more knowledge so that they can become better workers in the future. But your team said a lot about high quality sources on the internet, but your teams have not mentioned what students really learn and retain with that whole of knowledge like that. There's so many things, but what are the discipline as our third speaker said? So discipline is something that we mentioned about. So about the quality, we believe that our team can give students higher quality when they learn because they can retain knowledge longer. And third one is the networking. We believe that our team can improve the networking of students because students can have more social interactions because when we face face to face with each other. We have the emotion, we have the talking with each other. So this will increase the social interactions between us. And in order to judge a student's performance, we have to judge them based on the soft skills and hard skills. But your team just only mentions about the knowledge, which is the hard skill. That is not overall at all. So as your team also said, by the third speaker, your team said about you can go to ASEC, but our team also said that students may come from different parts of the world. So if they don't go to traditional school, how can they meet each other, right? They cannot. And the next one is about health. Your team has not mentioned about health, which is a very important component in our life. We cannot do anything if we don't have health, right? So health is something very important. As my third speaker said, students is now experiencing less sleep if they go to online classes. And this will not only affect their study online, but this will affect their daily activities also, because sleep is something really important. They don't sleep enough, they cannot do anything. And the next one is about the health of teachers. So according to a research that I said earlier, 19% of students are more depressed during the COVID-19 when they go to school. So your team has not mentioned about teachers at all. You only mentioned about the cost and also the materials, but you don't mention the output. So do children and teachers like it? Or do students and teachers really like the approach? You have not mentioned, but our team have mentioned it. That is about the health. We believe that our team can give students and teachers healthier. And the last one, which is the very important component when we debate something, is about the economic effects. We believe that our team can do it much better, because for some special majors like manufacturing, healthcare, doctors, something like that, you cannot go to schools online, as my third speaker said. So traditional schooling is the only choice. So high-skilled workforce can only be trained from traditional schools, because this will give them practical experience, which your team and your world cannot go. So we believe that our team wins your team about the cost, the quality, the networking, the health, and the economics, which is the overall picture of the debate today. Thank you.
The time is up. Thank you for the reply speech, negative team. Next, I would like to invite the second reply speech from the affirmative team. Are you ready? Your time start now.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we have some rebuttal here today on your negative side. So how can you answer that online courses have less quality compared to the traditional brick and mortar university? We do not deny the effect of traditional brick and mortar styles of university, but the point here is that we are living in the digital world. So there's a lot of technology and digital tools that we can apply in our learning. That we need to get used to it, and we need to adapt it. For example, the Silicon Valley in the United States of America, they apply a lot of technological tools and digital platforms, and they are very successful at that. So our second rebuttal is that you say a lot about the isolation and the social interaction. We do say that in the online platform or the online university, we do not have the social interaction with humans. So why that? Your teammates talk a lot about the learning, engaging, and the belonging in university, but how about some violence at school? For example, the North Korea or the South Korea, there's a lot of violence at school. How can you deal with that? You have no solution for that. So I don't deny the benefits of physical education institution, and the motion here is that the replacement of traditional brick and mortar university with the rise of digital university, we do not damage or make the physical university stop functioning. We just have the rise. We focus on building the digital university for students, for the ethnic minority, for students have no access to university, to have a basic or fundamental platform to study on it. So we are applying the digital platform and digital university. We do not live in the virtual world. So that's the reason why I say that we do not deny the interaction in societies with humans. So actually in online platform, we can learn from it, we can accumulate the knowledge from it, but we can go to society and have the interaction as well. So our second rebuttal is the cost effectiveness and the affordability, then we say you do not have the spot on rebuttals on these problems because the cost effectiveness and affordability is very important for the minority, for the ethnic minority to carry out their study at university. And according to the Natural Center of Educational Statistics, $1,000 for a year learning at the public university such as UEH. So that's the reason why the ethnic minority have no access to this such university. And a study published in the journal gives data on the numbers of students cannot continue their university study. And it's 15% students cannot go to university, and 70% of ethnic minority cannot carry out their academic path. So you guys do not give me any solutions in your work to tackle this situation. You give a lot of scenarios on how people gonna be cheating on the online exam. But we say that the university just classify the level of student, not classify the level of the people in the society. So that's the reason why we will deny that. Okay. And in our work, we support the rise of digital university. We do not deny the effect of brick and mortar university. We just provide more access to people who have no access to the university. And one such important is that the overpopulation in Ho Chi Minh City, due to the university, the student university go to Ho Chi Minh City for a lot of for every single year.
Your time's up. Thank you for your reply speech. Please return to your seats. Wow, how do you feel about the debate? Was it exciting? Was it dramatic? Yeah, so we have just finished the final match, the UEH Debate 2023 Grand Finals. Congratulations to the two teams on your excellent performance. And I'm sure that the two teams are also equally awaiting the comments from the esteemed administrator at this moment, right? First, I would like to invite Dr. Phạm Yu Phương Thảo to give a few comments about the debate.
Thank you so much. Firstly, I would like to say that both of you are strong.